Hello, everyone, and welcome into today's Is This Your Person reading. So we'll be taking a look at, this will be kind of a specific scenario. So if the title catches your attention or if the first handful of cards as they're falling seem to resonate with you, then that means that there's a message in here for you for today. But as always, especially with these messages, if it's not really seeming like it applies to your situation, don't try to force it. So this could be channeling something that's just kind of specific for some of you watching today. So let's take a look and see what all messages are coming through for you for today. And we'll do it as a cut. All right, in the recent past, we have our Queen of Swords and Temperance in reverse. In the present energy, we have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Cups in reverse. In the next level of energy, we have Wheel of Fortune in reverse and Five of Pentacles. So in the recent past with you, this Queen of Swords in reverse energy, it's kind of this like critical, like almost kind of cruel, bitter, cold type of attitude. And, that's pointing to this imbalance. And there's certain excess or like avoidance or ignorance that's going on. So whether it was that this imbalance kind of drove one of the parties to sit in this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not Queen of. I was thinking Queen of Swords in reverse. So Queen of Swords in the upright is that more. It's like you're kind of perceptive, that independent, open-minded type of energy. And then you have their Temperance in reverse, which is that imbalance, that excess. So there's a little bit of like a mismatch here in terms of if there are all these imbalances and there's kind of this element of like avoidance or ignorance that's going on within the relationship, but one of the people is kind of perceptive and they're open-minded. They're seeing that this is happening, but nothing has really shifted yet. And then currently you're sitting in this Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So with both of those, this is like some opportunities that were missed or maybe failed investments. But since this is related to a relationship, it's like an opportunity to invest in your relationship and it got missed. And then with your Ace of Cups in reverse, it's kind of this feeling of being like unloved and blocks to your creativity and a sense of loss. So it was, it almost comes across like one of the partners maybe was ignoring the other because, there's work things to be done. So they, the other partner was focusing on pentacles instead of on the relationship. So then it kind of leaves this feeling of imbalance that, one of you is seeing what's going on and, noticing that there's all these imbalances, but yet nothing is being done about it. So the next level that's coming in, Wheel of Fortune in reverse is there's some setbacks, some bad luck, some misfortune. And Five of Pentacles is that out in the cold feeling, like you're struggling. There's hardship. So it's kind of like with the Queen of Swords energy, there is a little bit of that coldness to it. So, yes, the Queen of Swords is perceptive and she recognizes that there's some of these problems and she's not getting all emotionally tied up in it. But at the same time, simply acknowledging that there's imbalances and acknowledging that there's, issues here, that there's some avoidance. It's also, ignoring the issue. So it's like, it's there, but you're avoiding it. You're not doing anything about it. And, that leads to the missed opportunities. That leads to feelings of being unloved. Excuse me. And because if those go unchecked, that is going to be the next level where it's this bad luck feeling out in the cold. So this is like, if nothing is done about that situation. So let's see a little bit more. I'm using a different deck here. Let's see a little bit more about, in the current energy, what is causing this distraction? What is causing this feeling of missed opportunities and being unloved? What is the root of that? Oh, that was a couple of cards flipping. I guess we'll let those flip. So we have Seven of Wands and Ten of Wands were the two cards, and I'll pull one more since those both kind of flipped out of there. And let's see what comes up with that. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So it's interesting. It's all these aces in reverse in this current energy. So your Ace of Wands in reverse is, again, kind of like lost chances, maybe broken promises, things like that. Your Seven of Wands is going to be kind of like that sense of perseverance. And your Ten of Wands is about feeling like stressed out and overburdened and struggling. So, there's a lot of this struggle of like this blocked energy happening. And it kind of feels like there's just this sense of apathy. So, that Queen of Swords, it even though that's like this open-minded type of energy, it's almost, it comes across, it really feels like it's, yeah, I see what's going on, but I don't care enough to do anything about it. So it's almost like there's all this frustration, or maybe not even frustration. Like I said, it almost comes across as apathy. Like you acknowledge that there's a problem, you acknowledge that there's these imbalances, and you're avoiding the problem, and it just keeps compounding and leading to more and more problems. So that's kind of the message here about what's going on with this. Let's take a look and see whether some of that ends up changing. So let's take a look, because this is that feeling of hardship. So let's fast forward. Let's take a look at, say, 4 to 6 months out. So Spirit, what are we seeing for this scenario 4 to 6 months out? Pick out a couple of cards. The Fool and the Page of Cups. This is the Fool in reverse. And so the Fool in reverse is about kind of like fear of the unknown, and kind of an unreadiness to make any changes. And this is some of that Aries energy. And so that Aries energy is kind of that, being you, being yourself, but it's like you're afraid of that. So there's kind of this unwillingness to take that leap of faith, one way or the other. Page of Cups energy. This is a little bit of that naive daydreamer, like that innocence type of energy, So here this, you probably can't really see it very well in here, but here this guy's just sitting there playing his little flute or whatever. And, so this is almost kind of that energy of like in a relationship with that naivety and innocence. It's kind of like it's almost like a little boy showing up, giving a girl a dandelion. It's a sweet gesture, but it's like, okay, if that's the energy that you have, if you're in your 30s and your relationship is having problems, to show up with a hand-picked dandelion, that's sweet, but that's probably not enough to change all of this sense of apathy and kind of not confusion, but kind of that dull sense of, I guess things just aren't really going on a smooth path. So it's interesting. It doesn't seem like there's a change that's happening because the Fool came up in the reverse. So, it kind of just seems like there's a little bit of a fear to make a change. It's like there's apathy about improving the situation because there's enough fear of making a change. So both parties are just sort of like, not really very inspired, but it is what it is. I'm not burdened or uncomfortable enough to make a change one way or the other. So let's take a look at the light cards. The Ever Unfolding Rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So some of these things, these things are happening for you to be able to see. So if you're able to kind of distance yourself from the specifics of your situation and look at what this lesson is, there is kind of this sense of, this isn't going anywhere. So what am I doing? Like, I'm not happy. I may not be, absolutely crying in the corner miserable, but I'm not really happy. So it's happening for you. And this Ever Unfolding Rose, you'll probably see layers and layers of this continuing to happen. And like we talk about so often in the daily readings, When the universe wants to send you a message, it's subtle at the beginning. You have to be kind of quiet and listen to it. And if you keep not listening to it, then your messages get louder. They get more severe. They get more impactful. So, you know, if there's a lesson to be learned here about, like with the whole apathy, either start to care and do something about it, or be done with it. Like, because it seems like both parties aren't really paying attention to each other. Your relationship card that came up was give your relationship a change, work on your partnership. So the interesting thing is, it feels like this should actually say give your relationship a chance. If I do that, will it focus it? But technically it says change. So change things up, do things a little bit different. Like try to move out of this state of apathy to bring things back into balance. Because it kind of seems like one partner is ignoring the other one, and, the one partner may not like it, but they also they're not so unhappy that they feel like putting in any effort to change it. So give your relationship a change and try to work on that. All right, let's take a look at our spray paint oracle and see what comes up. If you aren't happy, make different choices. So this is the whole thing of, if you want something different, you need to be doing something different. So, like we said, it's apathy. It's not misery, but it's also not happiness. So if you're not happy, make different choices and, give things a chance. Try to change the way some of these dynamics are happening to try to avoid some of this, I'll call it, burnout, apathy, like, because I guess right now you're in apathy and it's moving towards, I'll call it distress. With this Pentacles, like this is really about hardship and struggling, and Wheel of Fortune in reverse is about misfortune and setbacks. So it's like right now you're just kind of in this sort of energy, but it's moving into a oh no sort of energy. So if you're not happy with how this is looking, make different choices, give things a chance, try to see if they'll change, and go from there, see what that looks like. So let's pull out some of our tiles and see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take out 6, 5, 6. All right. So let's see what we've got. And if any of these are initials, that may resonate with you. But let's see. If we look at glide, you're just kind of gliding through things, and if you encounter any friction, your movement's going to stop, but you're just kind of gliding through it. It could be a thing where you feel like you've been lied to. Don't go lie, but it seems like maybe glide is the word here. That you're just kind of gliding through things. You're not really very inspired, but you're not really encountering any friction, so you don't feel a need to change anything. But it looks like it's a slowly deteriorating situation to where it is going to result in unhappiness if you don't make different choices here, if you don't step in and change that momentum. So I hope today's message has been helpful for you. And as always, take only what resonates. So if this didn't seem to be your situation, if you're not in this position of, I'll call it apathy, like imbalance in your relationship, but apathetic towards it, then this is not necessarily the message for you. But for those of you that this did resonate with, hopefully this has been helpful for you. I will also be having the individual zodiac sign reads for the first half of October, posting within the coming days. So make sure to hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those videos come out. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.